I took my first pottery class in May 2024. Let me walk you through everything that happened in the last year. The intro to wheel throwing class at a studio in the outer sunset was a Christmas gift from my partner, but I was only able to take it in May. To be honest, I was the one struggling the most in that class. Everyone else had some prior experience, and at 30, I was the only complete noob. I was always one step behind, coning when everyone was centering when everyone was pulling walls. After that month, I only made tiny and squat bowls, somewhat as cracks. But at this point, I felt like the more I practiced, the more I see tiny improvements, and so I got a studio membership to keep going. In class, we used speckled clay and some studio reclaimed so groggy that it cut someone's hand. I was tired of scraping my hands raw with these clay bodies that once I became a member, I got red velvet, the smoothest the studio had to offer. Well, it's not a very forgiving clay body for a newbie because one has to be careful not to use too much water with red velvet. It also stains your clothes and your hands. That month, I felt like I had to relearn wheel throwing altogether with YouTube. I watched a ton of Lauren Gatsby videos, went back to the basics, and this clay body taught me a lot of things I didn't learn in my first month. I then tried B-Mix, which is a white stoneware, and even though my first ramen bowls and coffee mugs then were puny and thick, I think it was the first time that I liked the end results of the things I made. Now, for a couple of months that summer up until that point, my partner rented a cargo bike, making studio trips more doable because he was carting me everywhere, dropping me off and picking me up. After studio time, we would ride through Golden Gate Park and see beautiful summer sunsets at Ocean Beach. By August, the cargo bike was gone and the long commute to the outer sunset wore me down. We also welcomed our 14th foster cat, Slinky, and because she's a kitten, she needed more supervision and socialization. So I switched to my current studio in Lower Haight to drop in more frequently and also spend more time at home with my cats. Now, what I didn't know is some studios are like landlords. You'd pay a deposit for your last month, and if you don't give the studio 30-day notice before quitting, then you don't get that back. So I was paying for 2 studio memberships for 1 month. But at the new studios, I made friends and I was able to practice more. The studio managers are wonderful teachers who are so generous with their knowledge that I was also learning a lot even though I was no longer taking classes. Now that my studio is closer, I can spend less time getting there and more time just making. So I made a set of teacups for my sister, espresso cups for my dad, and I started working on my pear mugs and frog vases. Up until this point, the Instagram account oneoffceramics were only kind of like a gallery for me to post things that I am proud of. But my friends and their friends had been asking to buy my work for a couple of months now, and even though I felt like I was not good enough yet, I started a website that matched my Instagram account handle.